everybody. Welcome to this episode of the Disc Golf Answer Man. I am Bobby Cool Daddy Slick Breeze. And I have with me Eric Redshirt McCabe.
What's up?
Robert Redshirt McCall.
What's up?
Bobby wore a blue shirt.
Oh, gosh. That's so embarrassing.
I am the Odd Ones Out. You guys ever watch the YouTube channel Odd Ones Out?
No.
I've showed you before with the cartoon.
Yes, I forgot about that.
It's pretty funny. Yeah, it's pretty funny. You need to check that out. It's got like 4 million subscribers, I think, maybe more.
That's it?
It's
About
very
4 million, yeah.
It's
couple less
very
than we've
Yeah,
got.
Danny wants it. Huh?
So a couple less than we have?
Just a couple. Yeah, he's trying to catch up. So.
Okay, fair enough. You trying to give him a shout out so we can
Right, trying
get
to
over
help
that.
him out. Right,
Get over
that.
Pardon me, what?
So anyway, we are here with the Disc Golf Answer Man show. Let's see.
Still pretty quiet.
My
let me see.
my apologies for getting the after Glassbone Open episode out late, but I got that out late, so I apologize. Hopefully you're able to, if you listen to our show via the website, I did not put this on the website, so make sure you subscribe on Spotify or iTunes or another podcast app, because I did put Johnny V from Smashbox gave us, what did I say?
Not you. You're good.
No.
Do I even want to look at the comments?
No,
Yeah.
you're good.
It's funny.
It's
Yeah,
funny.
go
It's
ahead.
good. Yeah.
He gave us the audio of the GBO PDGA Pro Panel.
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
so if you want to hear the
Nice.
questions that were asked and answered, you can listen to that. So it should have gone out this morning.
Focus more on the ones that were
Which would've been
asked, because
Tuesday.
that was probably the best person on the stage. It was the person asking the questions.
Right,
not,
right.
Not the ones answering.
That was the true entertainment.
Yes. That's what everyone
show
came
the
out
questions if you put a video out.
Just
Don't show the answers.
we've made-
just the questions.
We've made a highlight of the GBO Pro panel, and it's just me asking
it's just you asking questions.
perfect.
Man, how great.
Anyway, so what else we got going on? So what's going on, guys? I didn't play any disc golf this weekend. The media
me
team
either.
took an extended weekend so we could recoup from GBO. I know that everybody except me played some disc golf.
I didn't.
Oh, you didn't play any disc golf?
No disc golf for me this weekend that I can remember. No, I didn't.
No, I spent time with family and friends.
I bought a truck.
You bought a truck, a nice new. Oh, can we tell what it is?
Sure.
20. What did you say? 2019.
2019 Ram Bighorn.
Little Hemi.
Little Hemi.
Pretty
sweet.
Hemi
It is
for you.
nice. I dig it.
And it's now he has two murdered out
I do.
vehicles. They're
An
both black
element.
on black.
Yep.
Black on
An
black on
element
black.
in the Ram.
Yeah,
Pretty sweet.
nice.
And Robert played some golf this weekend.
Now
What's up?
Robert played some golf. Before we get to Robert, though, I think
Let's talk Danny's disc golf
Danny
first.
Danny played some good disc golf. this
Well,
weekend.
do we talk about your disc golf, Anthony, at all? Should we?
Did you play Anthony?
He played. So.
Anthony came to
Cool.
a practice round with me, and we tossed around. But
Nice.
he caddied for me this weekend.
Oh, you didn't play in the event?
Uh-uh.
Oh, I thought you played in the event. Okay, so then Danny had no plans to play any competition disc golf and decided to play in the Kansas
Kansas
Crush.
Crush
Was that in Ottawa? Yeah. Is that right?
and tied with.
So,
oh, go ahead.
Before you go on, I
Yeah.
watched a video that Scott Reek put out. I
Yeah.
don't know if it was him, but it was his page, the Trilogy
Trilogy Talk or whatever.
Talk page
Okay, yep.
about Isaiah. What's up with those tee pads over there?
They're really small.
They are
Are they-
very bizarre. They're like triangle shaped.
They were like 3 feet long and a foot wide at the back.
3
Yes.
feet long, a foot
Yes,
wide.
they're
in
a
the
foot
back.
wide at the back and 3 inches at the front because they go to a point?
That's so weird.
Yeah.
They just tee off from the grass next to it.
Yeah, I saw that, but I was just curious. I wonder how that
I
ever.
don't think the people who installed that course were disc golfers.
Fair enough.
Right.
Interesting.
So-
but
Yeah.
great
Danny
play.
had a good
It's
weekend.
a fun course.
He tied for first went into a playoff with Isaiah Esquivel.
Yep.
Team DD member, and I don't know why he didn't, give a poor young guy a break, but
I know, right?
apparently Danny likes to beat up on young kids.
14-year-old boys.
No, he won in a playoff. So good job, Danny.
We'll lose to him plenty, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. There's going to be plenty of losing to Isaiah in
Yeah,
the
oh, yeah,
next
for sure.
10,
Yes.
15 years.
And then Robert, you played in the event.
Hold on, let's
Okay,
roll
oh.
back just for a second. So
Yeah.
Danny shot 980 something the first round,
That's it. So
977 you said, and then second round
Murdered.
popped off in the 1040s.
Was it a
So-
career high?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Super-
Career high.
Super solid round. That's awesome. So yeah, go to the playoff, parks the first hole, get that W. You said first in a little while, right, Danny?
Yeah.
Nice to be back on the old winning train. Congrats, man. That's super cool.
So then Robert went and played.
Yes, I went to King of the Canyons.
Yes.
And at Delwood Disc Golf. The Canyons is up there in Lockport, Illinois. One of my favorite courses I've played. I went up to Clash of the Canyons with Anthony and Kevin last year, and we played that when it was an A tier. But this was like an invitation only, kind of like a bracket style tournament. So we started off with 38 players.
Mm-hmm.
First round, everybody plays. Top 20 scores move on to the next round. Bottom 18 are eliminated. You're done. Then scores reset. And then it's just another 18 holes. 20 people play. Top 10 advance. Then scores are washed. Brand new round. 10 play, 5 advance. And then those 5 go to a final 9. And so first day I played really solid. I tied for the hot round of 46. There's a few of us. And there was like 5 people sitting at 51 who were going to have to all play off for one spot because they don't take more than 20. But then a 48 from the last card came and wiped all those people off. And then second round, I shot 1 off the hot. There was 53s and I shot a 54. And then the third round, Mike Conley and Mike's Latitude sponsored guy, we tied for the last spot. We both still had a stroke to give. We both shot 50s and 52 was the next best score, but made it into the final 9 and kind of everybody struggled a little bit in the final 9. We didn't play nearly as clean as we had leading up to that time.
That happens. That tends to happen.
Well, and the thing is, like, all right, so in the morning, we top 10 get paid. So everyone who played on Sunday got paid. 10th place was like $200. 6th place was like $600. So like, great.
You're making money.
Yeah, you're making money no matter what. But if you make the final 9, minimum $900, max $2,500. So there's a lot of money at stake. And I think that's kind of the first time some of us had really thought about that. I hadn't really. I just wanted to make Sunday and then hopefully I play well after that. So yeah, I missed a couple of putts that I feel like I should make, circle's edge or so. And then threw out of bounds once, but everyone just kind of made a mistake or two.
And the final 9 was on video, correct?
It was, yeah. Yeah, you'll be able to see all the missed putts and mistakes.
Can't wait.
But yeah, so it came down to the end, and I was in a 3-way tie for the win. Me, Dan Schlitter, and Kyle Opfer. Both guys that I just met this weekend, both fantastic dudes. Played several of my rounds with Dan, and that was really fun. He's just a cool guy, really fun to play with. Really, really good player. And then Kyle and I only played the final 9 together. And he's a recent Discmania pickup. Dan is a Discraft guy. So we decided to split the money for first instead of having like $1,000 swing from third to first. We all split and took home $2,025 per person, which is by far my largest disc golf payout for a weekend.
If you hadn't split it, what
was the breakdown for?
Yeah.
It was right around 2,500, 2,000, 1,500, something close to that.
So guaranteeing to take home $2,000 as opposed to maybe losing by a stroke.
Yeah,
and taking 500 less than that.
Right,
makes sense to split it.
That's what I think. And I mean, ultimately, I lost in the playoff to Kyle. He hit this probably about 40 footer downhill. Well, maybe not downhill, but water about maybe 30 behind the basket, but only about 12 will stop your putter. Mm-hmm. Past that, it's guaranteed in the water, 100%. And he just jammed it. And I had one right around circle's edge that I just left too high and, lost
Nice.
in the playoff. But it was super cool. That was on our second hole. We all birdied the first, and that was awesome. So at that point,
was
though,
it sanctioned?
No, not sanctioned.
I didn't know if the rounds were sanctioned at all.
Sure.
I didn't know if they did that way or not.
But yeah, I mean, I played solid all weekend. I putted really, really well. Threw in putts from kind of all over the place, which was awesome. If they were rated, I bet that first round would have been kind of in the 1030 to 1040 range. It was a really good round. And then the others probably would have been around 1010, 1015. So good, not great, but solid.
Solid
Yeah,
weekend.
all around solid.
I always think that's interesting when there's a tie and those people decide to split the winnings.
Play off for the trophy.
I do it almost every time.
I ask at least.
Yep.
Have you ever had anybody say no?
I have.
Oh, you have?
I don't think I ever have.
What was your
think I ever
thinking? You're
have.
like, oh, okay, let's go. Or were you just like,
If
all right.
like here's the thing: if you get to the end and there's a huge pay disparity, then I love to split because you're guaranteed. No matter what happens, you're guaranteed to do well, to come out on top, right? The times that somebody hasn't split, yeah, I'm just like, all right, then let's freaking go. Good luck, man. Because if we split, if I win, if whoever I'm splitting with wins, like I want to win, but
Yeah.
whatever. But if they're not trying to split, I'm turning on the Jets.
I want to win.
Afterburners are on.
And the time
Engaged.
the time that that they didn't split, did you win or lose?
Mhm.
You won.
Mm-hmm. Got the old W. I'm probably like,
Did you say in your face?
I did not, but I thought it.
You should have said it.
I think on playoffs, I'm probably around 50%. I don't do I'm not super awesome at them. I'm not super bad at them.
I haven't been in too many
know, it just
playoffs
feels
in my
like-
career, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously,
Not a
I'm
whole
not a
lot.
big time competitor. I don't compete and play, and obviously, but it just seems like when I hear them, I'm like, man, it's almost like I want all the money.
Oh, I certainly want all the money, but
So let me get this straight. When you go to a playoff, if you go to a playoff someday for like an open first place,
Sick.
are you going to go up to the guy and go, let's go all for nothing? So whoever wins this playoff
Takes all of it.
wins first and second place prize money, and
I feel like I
second
would
place wins
want to.
nothing.
I feel like I would want to.
So here's what it
should.
comes down to for me.
What'd you say?
You should.
What it came down to for us was we battled hard all weekend and got there in different ways, right? I had the hot round, one off the hot round, and then one of the bottom spots. Kyle was the opposite. He was just in the cut the first two rounds, and then had the hot round, third round, and then Dan was pretty steady, close to the hot, but kind of in the middle the whole time.
That's cool. I
And-
know I was invited to this.
Yeah.
And I didn't hear much PR about it or anything about the event, just that there was a lot of money added.
Yeah.
And I knew it was no hope for me to go.
Yeah, it
being
was
week
right
after
after
GBO.
GBO.
That's really tough to get to, but great event. Sounds like it was a quality time.
Yeah, I think it's worth going to. Although if nobody else wants to go, I'm happy to go back next year and play that again and try and take some money from some of those guys. But it was
I
awesome.
think you already answered it.
Oh, and Anthony caddied for me all weekend.
Oh,
And he's a champ. He kept me super calm when I was getting a little flustered.
now why didn't you
we got
play? Why
hyped.
didn't you play?
it's a qualifier, I think.
9-12 rating.
Oh, okay.
I think you have to qualify for this, correct? Is that right?
You have to be invite only. They're doing
Invite only
And I think at the end, he opened it
to anybody just to get it full.
What was the?
Yeah.
What was it? And you may have mentioned it. I apologize if I missed it. If you had won it outright, how much would you have taken?
2,500 ish.
Oh, you said okay.
Yeah, so 500 more, but there's a potential that I get
500
third.
less.
Sure.
Yeah, and
Sure.
and it's 1,000 less.
Sure.
And so
I was just curious.
Oh, from first to
from
yeah,
first
yeah, yeah,
from
yeah.
first to third. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
all-
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So all of us felt good about
No,
taking
it makes
over
sense.
$2,000
Well, especially
each.
when you're already going up against two other guys that you're tied with
Yeah,
for the week, basically,
pretty much.
and anybody's game. So it makes perfect sense to split right
Totally.
there. Play out for the trophy.
Yeah, it was awesome. And
I like
the,
playing
the
off the
trophy
trophy.
was sweet. It's like an Adirondack deck chair. It was really awesome.
Oh wow,
I wouldn't have had a lot of room to bring it back, but it was still pretty sweet.
that's cool.
but
Put it on the roof.
that cool.
yeah, it was fun, man. It was super fun.
Cool.
Anthony took a bunch of videos for me, by the way.
Good.
So
Oh yeah, I saw you post.
put some of those on Instagram if you want to check them out. Hey, but for real, Team Warden. So many people after I started making putts were like,
What are you
"Oh
putting
yeah,
with?"
Team." I'm
No,
putting
I
with
meant.
Warden.
I thought that's what they were
Oh
asking.
no, they're all going, Team Warden. I didn't
Nice.
say anything about it. Solid. Self-appointed team captain of Team Warden.
Nice.
All right. What do you say we get to
You're
the
team
questions?
manager of Team Ward.
Yeah, that's
Team
right.
manager.
Dynamic discs manager of Team Warden.
What do you say we get to some disc golf?
Let's just go ahead and get it.
All right, guys. Remember, as always, send in your disc golf questions to discgolfanswerman.com. We will try to get them on the air. We'd love for you to do speak pipe because we love hearing from you. But if you just want to type it in, that's all cool. It's all good. This one comes from JC from Chapin, South Carolina.
Nice.
What's up, DeGam crew? 2 questions.
Dos.
Question 1. I love to throw my Innova Leopard and Cheetah super straight flyers. What would be some dynamic discs equivalents?
Maverick.
Yep.
For the leopard and the cheetah, maybe a convict.
Yeah, I think that's probably
Yeah.
2 pretty good ones.
Okay, question 2. Is it possible to make any mold a float in the water disc? Is it a specific plastic composite or is it a hidden air pocket in the mold?
Ooh. I honestly don't know the answer to this. I don't know if you would be able to. I know Thomas would be the person to answer
Yeah.
this question, obviously, but I know we did do some drift witnesses at one point that floated, but something was weird with it. It just didn't quite work out.
Yeah,
And we just kind of
weird.
Yeah.
There is
Right.
they don't float because there's an air pocket. They
No.
float because of the type of plastic. So I would imagine, yes, you could take any mold and use that plastic to inject into the machine. Now, whether it would work out well in the end, I don't know. I don't know if you can take any disc and, because there's more to it than just slap, plastic molding together and being pressed. There's a lot to the plate, the rim and how it handles heat and the shape of it and stuff like that. So, yeah, wouldn't know exactly, but I would imagine you could. I just don't know if it would be a good thing. Next one comes from Josh. Hey, Disc Golf Answerman crew. I've been playing for 1 year now, and thanks to this podcast, I'm transitioning to all Trilogy discs.
What up?
What up?
Welcome.
I'm looking for a good max distance disc. I was throwing an Innova.
Destroyer?
No.
Daedalus?
I would know how to say that.
I'm only joking.
How'd you know it was that?
Oh, Daedalus,
I
yeah.
just figured.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of a weird Innova disc.
I was looking at it. I was like, Daedalus or Daedalus?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Because you almost were going, duh.
Yeah. In the slot.
Destroyer, obviously.
And getting around
Right.
375.
I was more just being a butthead.
I know you were.
Oh, Destroyer.
Oh. Destroyer?
He's getting about 375 out of it. I'm throwing an Opto River Pretty, and I've got a Lucid Trespass, but it's still a little too beef for my backhand. By the way, I shot my first ever round under par today, throwing a truth on every shot. You guys are the best. Thanks for all you do.
Let's go.
What do we got for Innova Daedalus?
I don't even know what that is.
I think it,
I just know I've heard of the disc.
Oh, okay.
I just don't know what
I
it
think
does.
it's pronounced Daedalus, and I think it is a speed 14 that is quite understable.
So Freedom.
You're probably looking at a Freedom
Queen?
on the DD side, and then a Queen or maybe like a Destiny would actually be a really good
Ooh.
comparison from West Side
What
discs.
about Latitude?
Latitude would
Like
probably
a
be
King?
or
Maybe
well,
King would be a little bit more stable.
yeah,
probably,
that's also
but-
West Side too.
Oh, you're right.
Yes.
Havoc is what I meant.
Yeah, Havoc or maybe even a Bolt.
Yes.
One of those. I think those would be
Bolt.
good ones to try out.
Cool.
All right, let's move on to the next question. This one's from Steve. Hey guys, long-time listener, first time writing a question. I've been trying to work on my form doing field work, but I strained my bicep for the second time in the last 6 months working on my drives. Well,
Dang it,
gosh,
man.
you're
Man.
trying too hard or something. I only max out around 250 to 275, and I believe I'm pulling the disc too hard with my arm or releasing too late. It hurts on release or right after the hit point. Thoughts on what is going wrong? I never hear anyone talk about bicep injuries, only wrists, elbows, knees, ankles, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes.
Was that in there?
No.
Okay.
Huh. I don't know. I haven't heard of a whole lot of bicep injuries. That's kind of interesting. If I were you, I mean, none of us are medical professionals nor close. We call ourselves doctors of some things, Torchies specifically. But
It's been a while.
yeah, it has been a while. Oh yeah, somebody just a second ago said, that's a cheap plug for McDonald's. Why not for Torchies? Because we don't freaking have a Torchies here, okay? If we did, I'd have that every single day
Yes.
that we had Disc Golf Answer Man. Back to the question. I think you should reach out to Seth Munsey of Disc Golf Strong. I know that's kind of become a default answer for us in a lot of ways, but he's got a lot more insight physiologically as to why that sort of thing might be happening.
See,
You also may just be trying to throw it too hard only with your upper body. So if you engage your lower body a little bit more, work on your footwork, your hip rotation, that will probably help you to put less stress on your arm. But either way, I would reach out to Seth.
yeah, I would definitely reach out.
Yes.
Someone on here says use your legs and hips. It sounds like you're using too much of your arm.
So throw with your foot.
It's all in the hips. Dude, Happy Gilmore.
Chaser said the only injury he's seen with
Chubs.
biceps, the guy was focusing too much on arm speed. So
Could be.
There you
Could be
go.
just ripping the disc, but either way, I would.
That's what I do all the
Hit
time.
him,
Just
Seth.
throw it really hard.
JC has another question. What's up, Disc Golf
Same.
Management Crew? Really enjoy the helpful and entertaining shows that y'all put out.
Thanks.
Been playing disc golf casually for 2.5 years now. I currently putt with an end of a Colt, and I've been wanting to make the switch over to the Trilogy family of
Nice.
discs. What would be the closest compatible putter for me to jump into? Love the smooth glide and little fade that Colt gives me. And I love the smooth, beadless hand feel. Thanks for all you do, and keep it real.
I'm not 100% sure on this. I think the Colt is a little bit,
It's like shallow, right?
yeah, not quite as tall as,
I would almost say a Pure comes to mind because
Yep.
it's kind of a little more boxy.
yeah.
I'm not sure if that's exactly what the Colt is, but I feel like the Colt is like the new edition of the XD.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean? You remember the XD?
Something like that, yeah, which was
similar to
really,
this?
really narrow.
super shallow. It was like a classic rock.
I say narrow. Yeah, really, really short. Yeah.
Yeah. So I would say a Pure would probably be a pretty good option there. It doesn't have a bead. It's got great glide.
Mm-hmm.
It's not overstable. It's relatively straight to understable. So I would try a pure.
That's what I think too. Yeah, that's good.
Excellent. This one is from Dave.
Nice.
I currently throw a 171 Goldline Saint. I can throw approximately 325 feet dead straight with the disc.
Dang.
It's the most consistent disc in my bag. I'd like to add a distance driver to my bag and would appreciate a recommendation for a disc similar to the Saint that could get me a little more distance off the tee. I'm not a huge fan of wide rims, but understand wide rims are pretty standard with a lot of distance drivers. Can you recommend a disc in the DD and Trilogy lineup?
Trespass.
Yep.
Really comes to mind for DD
Mm-hmm.
as a nice, not super bulky rim on it, but flies relatively straight.
Yep.
Any plastic, really, Lucid or Fusion. I know the Lucid X's, while I want you to buy them all, it is pretty overstable.
Yeah.
They're pretty beefy, so that's probably not going to be what you're looking for. But a nice pop toppy Lucid or Fusion one is great. I can throw them out there with a nice hyzer, flip up the flat, and throw them at like 75 to 80%, and I'm still getting almost 400 feet on them.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah, they
a
can-
great straight flying, and for my weak forehand, I love them. So
Yeah, you can put them out there.
Would a
quite ways.
Renegade be a good recommendation?
Well, what I was going to say is if the Saint is straight for him at 325, then yeah, it might be like a bio trespass might be better. As long as you don't get a super domey one. Super domey ones tend to be really overstable.
yeah.
But yeah, something with just kind of a normal dome or even closer to flat or even like a Fusion trespass might be a little bit straighter for you. But yeah, I think Renegade would be
I think it'd be good out
on
of the
the more-
box.
yes,
but
on the more understable side, but it'd probably be pretty straight to start off with. Something, but if you're looking to grow into a distance driver, yeah, either one of those would be great ones to grow into.
Havoc is another one that we had talked about a little bit earlier. It's very similar to a trespass, a little less overstable finish
Yeah.
to it. So if you want to stick with the latitude line, Havoc would be a great choice
For
as
sure.
well.
All right, here we go. We're going to see what we can hear from the speak pipe.
Hello, cool Daddy Slick Breeze, Robert Mr. 1K McCall, and Eric
Hello.
rated lower than Robert McCabe.
Solid.
Okay, first of all, that's
questions for you,
hateful.
lovely
What's up?
gentlemen. The first is,
That's a good
I'm
way to
in
get on.
between two putting putters
First
right
time,
now,
lifetime.
and I can't quite decide which one I prefer.
I
I
didn't
feel like
think
I've rated lower than Robert
Hold on.
Mr. McCabe.
Here we go.
I have two questions for you, lovely gentlemen. The first is, I'm in between two putting putters right now, and I can't quite decide which one I prefer. I feel like I have the same amount of success with both. I love the feel of both. But what made you guys choose one putter over the other when you were possibly switching or testing different discs when you joined DD? My second question.
First one.
Make your decision. Just do it. Go with it. Stop being a chump about it. Make your decision and stick with it.
Are you-
That's how.
Is that a
Are you
little,
speaking to yourself or?
Yeah.
it
little
sounded
bit.
kind of like
A little bit. I'm also
little
bitter
intense.
about his little intro for me.
Well,
so
yeah,
he
it's
can.
a little bit hateful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's clarify for a second. I'm rated 1 point higher than Eric from
Correct.
him not having played very many tournaments. So
Like
So,
three.
yeah, so they're very heavily weighted for the first time ever. So thank you.
My
but-
GBO should pump me up a little bit.
Yeah,
So we'll see what happens there.
I will be unseated very soon.
No, I'm kidding. Yeah, absolutely. It is what it's about, and I do need to listen to this. It's just find one, and you yourself just said you like them both. You like the way both of them fly. Well, guess what? Pick
Yeah.
which one you want. Whichever one you have more of. How about that?
Yeah.
Whichever one you have more of, go with that one.
Right. And just, what feels comfortable in your hand. That's the thing I think that is most important to me after the flight. If the flight isn't what I want, forget it. Not
Yeah,
gonna do it.
exactly.
But if the flight is exactly what I want and it doesn't feel good in my hand, I'm not going to feel confident putting that.
Yeah.
And so when I switched over this was in like 2013, before I got picked up, I moved all my bag to being DD Latitude Westside. And I was putting KC Pro AVRs before, and I moved over to Judges. And I really liked the Judge for quite a while. I had become accustomed to the Big B. That was cool. But it was just for my putt, I naturally putt on hyzer, and I was getting a little bit more dive at the end of the flight than I wanted to from a Judge. And so when the Warden came out, it was in the middle of a tournament I was playing in Louisville. They had one classic hard first run left at the shop. So I picked it up in between rounds and putted with it the next round and putted much better. That's not advisable. Don't do that for you, but
No, do that.
But definitely do that. But yeah, I mean, since then I've putted with that because it felt most comfortable to me and it gives me the flight that I want.
Whatever feels good in the hand and flies the way you want it to, that's what you should be putting with.
Yeah. So there you go.
There you go. Second question, or second part of his question, or second question, number 2. Here we go.
Question is, if Jeremy Rusko came in and challenged you to a bigger version of the Trilogy Challenge, where you could only bag one of the Trilogy brands per slot in your bag. So you could only have DD putters, and then Westside mids, like Latitude 64 drivers, or maybe Latitude 64 putters, DD mids,
Yes,
and
DD
so
mids.
forth. What brand would you pick for each slot, and what drives you to pick that brand for that slot as well?
Cool.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Got it.
State that one. State one.
So-
more.
So all of our putters have to be from either DD Westside or Latitude.
All of our mids.
All of our mids
from-
have to be from
Mm.
one of the others.
Mhm.
Drivers have to be
Mhm.
one of the others too.
Yep. This one's really easy for me.
Has to
I think
be?
it is for me too.
Has
Yeah.
to be.
Yeah, so for me, I can go first. So this is easy for me because I love the Warden more than anything. It's not more than anything, but disc wise. So sorry, Shay,
More than
if you're
Walter?
listening. But I would definitely choose DD putters. I would throw Warden. I would putt Wardens, throw Wardens, and then probably throw a Slimer or two in there, which
Mhm.
I still really like a lot. When it comes to mids, I would probably go to Westside
That's
from
kind of
mids.
cheating.
Why?
I know that the slammer is a putt and approach, but I don't know. It just seems more like
No,
a
that's very
mid.
much a putter. It's not
It's
like
no
the
different
suspect.
than a harp though.
Yeah, it's not like the suspect. The suspect I do not count as a putter. The slammer is definitely a putter.
Mhm.
Okay. In your opinion,
Mids, it's verifiable. Speed
It is-
doesn't lie.
It is what I'm talking about.
Yes. Anyway, so then mids, I would go to West Side. I'd probably throw a lot of the Warship for a lot of straight stuff. It's not my favorite feel in the hand, but it does so many good, cool things. And then the Pine and the Anvil for really overstable stuff. I like those. And then, yeah, Tursus occasionally if I want to throw like a huge turnover or mid roller or something like that. And then, yeah, drivers from Latitude 64. Gladiator's great. Ballista Pro is great. Pioneer is great. Musket. Yeah, a bunch of really good ones. That's what I think. You're really only deciding between two because you're going to pick DD
I'm obviously
mids.
going DD mids because DD has the best mid-range lineup in the game. I don't care what you say. That is not just my opinion. That is fact.
These are the facts.
These are facts.
Deal with it.
No, I'm kidding. Obviously, no. What I love about our DD lineup, our mid-range lineup, is everything feels relatively similar.
Yes.
There's obviously differences, but everything feels pretty close to the same from a warrant all the way up to a verdict. You get into the justice. It's a little bit different, but
Sure.
obviously I'm just going to do what I do and bag 8 EMAC truths that round and call it good. Now my drivers, it's kind of just going off what I would probably go putters with Latitude
Yeah.
and putt with a Mercy.
Yep.
Because it's familiar.
Yeah.
Cenis for overstable.
Dude,
You
I
can,
put one
you can
back in my bag
mash on,
this
You
week.
can mash on those.
They're awesome.
It's a great pure Goldline Pure is such a great versatile flying putter, and the Seric is another one that's just amazing. I can get that thing to just fly dead straight, and I absolutely love the flight of it. So I'd go Latitude putters, and I would go old school, quote old school for us, and throw some Giants.
Ooh, yeah.
Used to love that disc. That was my go-to for when we first made the switch. And Johnny McRae is actually still throwing Giants.
Yeah,
and still throwing them well.
And punishing them.
And those old school, what are they, Matte White TP Giants? Those things are so good. And I know I still have a bunch of those, so I need to maybe revisit some of those. But obviously the Giant would be one. I've got a lot of really nice Kings that I used to throw back in the day, like 5 years ago,
So long
that
ago.
were just amazing flyers.
Yeah.
I mean, at the time, I was throwing that disc further than anything. So,
Yep.
Giant, you can get it to do anything really.
Yeah.
So that would be me.
Yeah, if you need proof of that Giants are still good, go and watch Johnny McRae, either the second or third round of GBO.
Any round really.
Yes.
Anything that he's
Right.
he's just
Yeah.
it's
but
amazing the way he throws that disc.
Specifically, hole 7, he hits an early tree on hole 7
Yeah,
and
that was-
throws, 500 plus to outside the circle and still gets a 3.
He was
which-
basically by the short tee.
Yes. it was unbelievable.
And then
so, yeah,
step putt,
Yep.
jam sesh, birdie.
easy money. So yeah, check those out.
I would go with DD drivers. I'd want a Renegade and a Maverick.
Yep, so that's solid.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would go with putters West Side. I would get the Swan 1 Reborn that I was
Ooh, yeah.
throwing before the
Oh, yeah, I
deputy.
remember that.
Mhm.
Maybe a crown for a nice
And
overstable
Crown
approach.
was another one coming up that I was going to say.
Shield. Mm-hmm.
And then I never did throw the shield a lot.
Oh, man.
I think I tried it.
You'd probably be a
It's-
900 rated player if you threw a shield.
Just saying, dude. That's
I'll
not
look
true.
into it.
You're welcome.
And then and then for my mids, I obviously the Latitude, I would go with probably a Compass.
Yeah, they're
Maybe
good.
a Grady shoe compass.
Nice and
Opto X.
stable.
Yes.
All right, we
let's-
all pick something different.
Nice.
All right, let's
Mine's
see.
better, of course.
Seth in Austin says, I have a Marksman basket that lives a comfortable life in my garage. Spring has sprung, and I love to permanently move it into the backyard. How weatherproof is it? Also, any ideas on how to secure it from a theft would be welcome. Well, I think we can go to the website. Does it list anything about it as far as...
Yeah. So the weather and waterproofing of Marksman is that they are not intended to be permanently installed, which means they'd be left outside all the time.
You could put an umbrella on the top of them.
You can cover them with an umbrella, which isn't a bad idea.
Not a bad idea.
But I've left my Marksman outside for a very long time.
Same.
And I see like a little rust here and there on some of the
Like S hooks, probably.
the
and-
screws is more where I
Oh,
see them, like
okay.
the
Yeah.
little tension screws or
Yes.
something like that.
Yeah.
But everything else is in great
The
shape.
basket, the Marksman that's at Jones East has been there since
Yeah.
the Marksmans came out. I don't even remember when that was, but that thing is in pretty dang good shape
It's doing
still
pretty well.
for, battling the elements
Yeah.
outside. So
As far as sorry, go ahead.
Well, it just says on, like you said, it says on the site, and I'll go ahead and read it verbatim. Dynamic Disc Marksman basket is mainly meant for portable use, meaning permanent installation or prolonged exposure to the elements can eventually compromise the integrity of the basket's composition.
mhm.
So, for keeping it real, I think it would be great to be able to have it out there in the backyard for a long time, but you got to know that's not what it's designed
Right.
for.
No, I mean it may be fine. Like I've had mine outside for now.
I think it also depends on where
Few
you
years.
live. If you're up
Yeah.
north, maybe somewhere,
You'd struggle.
Yeah, it definitely. And as far as securing it, that's kind of a tough one.
Yeah, I don't know really what you would do other than maybe like chaining the bottom of it and
You
locking
could
it.
put a chain, like one of those wire, through the bottom of the basket or something, and
Yeah,
tie it to a tree or something. But
sweet.
Did you guys ask the answer about the theft prevention?
Yeah, that's what we
I
were just
did.
talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
The best Torchy's taco is the turkey mole. This cannot be disputed. He adds that at the end.
okay,
What is the
This-
turkey mole?
That would be probably mole, like a Mexican take on stuff like that.
Oh, that's a sauce, isn't it?
Mhm.
Yeah, okay.
It's almost like a chocolate sort of
Well,
based
I-
sauce. It's
I-
really
I never-
interesting.
I don't know that I like it.
I don't know. I feel like we're gonna have to test this theory.
We will have to.
It may be the turkey mole, but just from hearing it the first time, I think it might be
Well,
that too.
he said Torchy's tacos. The best Torchy's tacos are the turkey.
Mole or whatever it is.
I don't know.
Road trip.
I'm gonna tell you right now though, it's not because the Mr. Orange is. But then when the Roscoe is around, obviously that's pretty good too.
What is the taco of the month for May?
I don't have any idea.
Let's go.
Let's
Only
find-
one way to find out.
Let's find out.
Let's go right now.
Now.
Remote.
Road trip.
Road trip. Remote disc golf answer man. This question is from
Bill.
No. Looks like
Jim.
Makalia.
Euro technology.
Michaela.
Michaela.
Please tell me you're not saying Michaela, Bobby.
Michaleie. Is it Michaela?
Wait, can I see it?
Well, I don't want to mess up. Hold on.
That's a weird one.
See?
It's- okay.
Take
good.
it back.
I take it back. I thought you were trying to say Michaela.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know what that would be.
All right, let's see. M asks,
What up, M?
when will the guard come out in more plastics?
Oh,
Soon.
Well, already
All that for
it's already come out in blend and classic hard.
classic hard. It came
Well,
out.
has
in.
it? I didn't know that.
Came out in classic hard Friday of GBO.
Next one is from Josiah. Hey guys, I love the Lucid Felon and love the level of control I can get from it, but I really want a fairway driver that finishes straighter than the Felon, but feels similar in the hand. Would you recommend a beat-in Biofusion Felon or a Lucid Convict, or maybe there's something else I haven't heard of? Looking forward to hear your thoughts. Thanks.
I think the Bio Felon would be great. I mean, it's going to feel exactly like it.
Yep, because it is it.
Excellent.
Perfect.
Now it's going to be pretty beefy, brand new, so you're going to have to beat it in a little bit. But
Mhm.
A couple discs do come to mind that I throw in this spot is my getaway.
Yep.
I'll throw a getaway in that spot, and that thing's got sneaky distance.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
100%.
And then another disc that I'm absolutely loving is the Latitude 64 Explorer. This thing is amazing as well. I
Super
can
duper good.
mash those things relatively flat, and they fly really straight. They do have a little fade at the end, so my getaway tends to be a touch less overstable than those. So I would say I would try either the Biofelon or the Getaway.
Nice. Yeah. I would say if you're looking for the feel to be identical, obviously you stick with the Felon. The Convict is going to be the closest in feel that's going to be something that's a little bit straighter.
Convict is a good one as well.
Because
it's a little squirrely at times.
It's going to be more of like it has more of an S turn than like something like the Getaway, which is pretty.
It's
straight
not going to
and
fly
finish
on
left.
a rope.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it will finish straighter than a Convict.
Yeah. Maybe get a Lucid X.
Yeah, check them out.
The PP ones.
Check them out.
Next one comes from Shay.
Danny put this in the chat. This is worth talking about for sure. The Culverin has a similar feel to the Felon. Yes, I think
Every
that's a good.
Culverin I threw was really overstable. Not really overstable, but decently overstable.
Yeah.
Granted, I only threw them when they first came
Maybe
out.
practice
so.
a little bit more. You might
Okay.
get better.
You can
I'll
finally
try
get
that.
finally get
I'll
some
try
snap
that.
on those discs.
Oh, okay. So I should work up to that.
Right,
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
You're trying
Excellent.
you're trying to get a little too fast.
All right, I can't wait.
Yeah,
Field
stick,
work.
stick with the underworld
Field
for a
work.
little bit. You'll finally get there.
Hatchet. Get it right.
the hatchet.
Hey, I used to like the hatchet.
I know.
That's a
That's
good
why I
disc.
said that.
This next one is from Shay.
What's up, DGAM crew? This is Shay from Philly with a rules question for you. During my last round, a cardmate threw a shot into a tree, and the disc came to rest right where the trunk split into 3 branches. The tree was a good 2 feet wide, so he isn't able to mark directly under his disc. So the group, we had him mark the first available spot along the line of play behind his disc, and I'm wondering if we made the right call. Thank you for the info, and as always, keep it real.
Easy.
You
Yes,
did
you
not stroke yourself. Go back.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Go back. Tell the PDGA.
Yes. No, that's the correct play.
Yep. You're absolutely right.
With something that's like an immovable object where you cannot physically establish a lie. Now, it's important to say too, like you said, the first available point
So that's
in line with the
basically
basket.
right on the tree.
Yes. So it doesn't say first available point where you can still, run up and throw a shot.
Not
It's
like
first
the new
available
OB.
point. Yes. So it's just like if there's a tree trunk, you're touching the tree trunk with your mini at the closest place where you can actually get your foot down.
You know how many people I watched at Glass Blown Open, Peter Pan, hole 1, not know the new rule that threw it OB over the fence?
Oh, like the infinity
Yeah.
backwards rule? Yeah. It's not good.
Yeah.
I
Explain
actually
that.
had to use
Explain
the
it.
infinity backwards rule this weekend. I
Did
can
you?
talk about it in a second. Yeah.
So when you
Is that
throw
like
OB,
Infinity Wars?
Yep, exactly like that.
yeah. If you've seen the
If
movie,
you
you
get
can
the
use the rule.
stones, you can snap
6 stones.
and
God, spoilers, guys. Come on.
I know you're still on Iron Man 1, so
Dude, hey, actually, side note, Shay is now watching the Avengers movies
Nice.
and she is hooked. Like she's
Nice.
super stoked about them.
well, make sure you run through them really fast so you can watch Endgame in the theater.
Have you
It's the
watched
only way
any
to
of them
see
with
it.
her?
I mean, I've seen a few of them. Just I
Right.
haven't seen any
Have
since
you
she
seen
started
the,
watching.
what's the one right before this?
Infinity War?
Yeah, Infinity War.
No, but she wants me to watch that because she said it was so
I
incredible.
know she told me.
Yeah, she
like,
was
I'm
stoked
gonna
on
get
it.
him to watch it.
Infinity Wars.
And I will. Anyway, infinity backwards rule,
I don't
GBO.
remember what we were talking about. Oh yeah. So like hole number 1 at Peter Pan, if you guys aren't
Inevitable.
familiar, the shot is basically a stall over the left field corner of the
Right.
baseball field. And a lot of people were turning over too much and going OB over the fence. So the rule states that you can now take your meter, take up to however far back you want to go on that plane, correct?
Yep.
So
In line with the basket.
in line with the basket.
That's right.
Yep. So you can go back as far as you want so you can give yourself a better lie. So you're not just taking 1 meter off the fence and having this awkward lie and worrying about hitting your hand. And
Yep.
so you can go back as far as you absolutely want.
Yeah. On something that's
so
out of
many
bounds.
people, on OB, so many people didn't know that rule, didn't know what was going on with it. Saw so many people
Interesting.
not play it that way.
Yeah.
I mean, that's at
Knowing
least
the rule
one
book.
stroke.
Yes.
At least one
Yes.
stroke.
Yeah, knowing the rule book is certainly to your benefit in nearly every circumstance, but especially this one.
Yeah.
So at the Canyons this weekend, there's this forehand hole as the last hole of the round. I threw a bad forehand, hit a tree, went into the water, and it was the way that the hole is shaped. There's kind of like a cliff on the right side, and the basket is behind the cliff over to the right. So you really need to throw like a forehand that skips over to get close. but my disc went out of bounds in line with the cliff after it hit that tree. So had I gone down to the water's edge, I would have been totally obscured from throwing any sort of shot that could have gotten me probably within like 80.
Yep.
So I took my meter off the water where we said that it went in bounds. And then from there, in line with the basket, backed up probably like 80 or 90 feet. And I was probably only 80 or 90 feet from the tee box at that point, but it gave me.
Oh, gosh.
Hold on.
They probably can still hear us.
Oh, okay. They can?
We just can't hear it being monitored.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to keep going then. There we go. So
sorry,
80 feet backwards, 80 feet in front of the tee box, but it gave me an angle to actually get into the green. I didn't do so great. I got to like 40, but made the putt, got the 4. That was our second round. Ultimately, I could have gotten a 5 and would have been okay, but I thought at the time I have to make this.
Yep.
And knowing that rule saved me a stroke for sure.
That's cool.
There's not a chance that I would have gotten a 4 from there.
Yeah.
So anyway,
it pays.
Pays to know the rules, man.
It pays. This one is from Tanner.
Hey, Disc Golf Answering Crew. My name is Tanner, and I'm very new to the game. I've been playing just this past year, and I've been watching your podcast or listening to it for about 2 weeks now. I'm really liking it. But I had a question, something that's really been confusing me. So I went to my first doubles game just today. Just got back from it. And I got matched up with someone very good. Cashes all the time, and I was really excited to match up with them. And
we had a good time.
And he was critiquing me on a lot of things that I've learned from YouTube, like watching people like Simon Lizotte and trying to match their grip and, match their, what they do, their form and stuff. And I videotaped myself, and I think that I'm matching a lot of the professionals to the best of my ability. And when I played with this guy, he told me my form was all wrong. He told me my stance was wrong and just critiqued me on every part of my game, where I love the critique, but it's not matching up with what a lot of the people on YouTube are saying. And I'm just really confused because I know this guy's good and I want to listen to him because I know he cashes, but also it's not what the people on YouTube are saying. I know there's different ways to play the game, but I'm just really confused in what direction I should go. And I was wanting some of your input on this. So thank you. And
yeah.
What I would say here,
I thought I was waiting for
cut off.
I know what I would say in this situation is, I don't know the credibility of the player you were playing with,
right,
or the people on YouTube.
That's correct.
So
I've never heard of Simon personally. Have you heard of that guy?
No, well, I mean, he's getting.
I'm messing.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Yes,
I would personally send it into the Disc Golf Answer Man podcast and somebody named Danny Lindahl, who can really break it down and let you know what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong. Personally, that's what I would do in that situation.
Yeah.
And just because the pro is really good and cashes at everything, that doesn't necessarily mean they can teach.
Yeah.
And tell you what you're doing wrong or show you what you're doing wrong. I would just go with somebody that I know.
Yeah.
Danny, he's the man.
Yeah, he definitely knows what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
I would also say, so yes, there are some mechanics that I think need to be present in anybody's form for it to be considered good and for it to be efficient, right?
Correct.
But go watch the way Paul Macbeth throws, and then compare that to somebody like Cale LaVisca. Compare that to somebody like James Conrad or Bradley Williams or anybody like that, people who say like, hey, these are people with good form. I guess people may not say that about James because he looks so crazy doing it, but he's super effective at throwing a disc, right? There is not one specific way to throw the disc. Eric and I throw very dissimilarly from one another. His body looks totally different from mine when we're throwing, but for the most part, we can accomplish kind of what we want to. So don't treat one person's advice as like gospel, right? There isn't just one person who knows. There are a lot of different ways to get it accomplished. As long as you've got kind of those main principles, like those main things in place, that's going to help you out a lot.
Yep. 100%.
So, yeah, man.
What if it literally is the gospel?
If it is the gospel, you better listen to it.
Something that frustrates me, and this is just me personally, is that And a lot of times when I'm playing with people that I've never played with before, they'll say, "Man, your form is smooth."
Man, you suck.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that frustrates me. They say my form is smooth, and I still get frustrated because I don't seem to be gaining a lot of distance now. I know I don't play a lot and stuff, and Danny's giving me some advice that I need to get out and practice more. So
Yeah.
My point is that what was my point?
There's a bunch of ways to skin a cat.
I guess, yeah. I mean, in a sense that there's so many, and he already said it in the question, but there's so many different ways that people throw that it's hard to pinpoint that, to look at that person and say, that's exactly what I'm going to do.
Right.
Rather than kind of like you said, some of the fundamentals that you incorporate.
Right. Well, you
That
can
makes
tell
sense.
when, yeah, of course. You can tell when certain people watch players to try and get kind of their form down, right? Because there are people who they're trying to mimic how Eagle throws. They're trying to mimic how Macbeth throws and everybody like that. But at the end of the day, your body isn't theirs. Yours is going to be different from theirs. And so doing something that works for you, that's effective for you, and that does the right sort of things is more important than looking exactly like, like, okay, let's say Eric wanted to change his form totally. And he's like, I'm going to go look at Simon Lizotte. He throws really far. Well, there's going to be a problem. Simon and Eric look entirely different from one another. Simon's 6'1", 6'2", really, really long limbs, and has a super duper hip turn. That may not be the best thing for Eric or somebody like me to replicate, because our bodies don't look like that, So I don't know. Just some thoughts.
Next question comes from Jamie. What is considered the Augusta to you guys? The course you walk on to take on the course you walk onto and take a deep breath and just smile. I'm an avid hunter, so I have those mornings I pull up to the farm, get out, and just smile because of the beauty in front of me. What course is that for you guys?
The only one that comes to mind for me is Winthrop Gold.
And that's not necessarily because of the course either. It's because
Right.
of the event that
Correct.
goes on at the course.
Correct.
And that's kind of what came to my mind as well. The only other one that really does as far as the course goes would be Maple Hill.
Yeah, it's crazy. Maple Hill is nuts.
Maple Hill, and then of course driving down the hill to get into Milo McIver. That's pretty epic as well. You haven't been out
I
there?
haven't seen it. I want to really bad.
That's another one out there. But the Augusta, there's nothing like the Augusta, in my opinion. I mean,
Right.
that's just tradition.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
yeah, I'd say you're exactly right. The course at Winthrop is good.
it's all right.
But
yeah, I mean,
it's-
it's not like it's not in my top 10.
Sure. It's made more difficult, obviously, by a lot of artificial out of bounds and some, natural out of bounds with water
Yeah,
and
the
fences
water,
and things
yeah.
like that. But there's this very, very prestigious event that's held there every single year. That's what kind of makes it feel that way.
Exactly. Yep.
As well. Yeah, when I went last year for the first time and walked out there, I was like, oh man, this is
This is it.
it. Like, this
Yeah.
is awesome.
Yep. Agreed.
So,
100%.
Next one is from Kenny. Hey, Disc Golf Answer Man fam. I'm wondering if you have any advice on release timing tips. My game is getting a lot better, and I'm shooting 940 plus rated rounds. And I notice I'm struggling on aim just a bit, and it's gotten me in trouble shooting long gaps, tunnels, etc. Any target practice / exercises advice you might have to help me improve this? Thanks a bunch. # Team Warden for life.
My man.
I
in that
didn't want to
case,
say that last part.
You get this one.
In that case, Eric's out of here. So I say, as far as when I'm trying to work on hitting accurate release points, and I go out to do it in a field, I think contrary to popular belief, you do not have to have tunnels and trees to work on being accurate. I'll go out to a field and pick my aiming point, whether it's a light pole or a tree or whatever. It doesn't really matter. And throw all of my discs with the intent of just hitting that release point, right? I don't care what it does after I let it go. So say I'm throwing a Maverick at it and I hit the release point. Well, it's going to go to the right afterwards. No problem. I hit the point. If I'm throwing an Enforcer and it goes, left really quickly, no problem. I'm hitting the release point. So don't equate results to the process of learning to hit those release points. I think people often miss their release, but land still in line with what they were aiming at and be like, oh, that was a good shot. No, it really wasn't. You're working on hitting those release points. something that'll also, I think, make you a little bit more accurate and have a more repeatable swing is if you are having a reach back that's full but comfortable, and then making sure that your shoulder and elbow aren't leading. Sorry, that your shoulder isn't leading the throw. That people call that rounding. It makes it really hard for you to be accurate. You want to make sure that you're getting your arm to that power pocket, that your hips are engaged, and that your timing is really good. Those are the things that I would work on for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Next one comes from Tanner. Tanner, maybe
Same one?
speak pipe and
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm 17 years old and I've been playing disc golf for 1 year seriously.
Cool.
Off the disc golf course, I'm a pitcher for my school's baseball team. This affects my game in that I can throw a forearm shot around 400 feet.
Cool.
However, my backhand is not so great. I can only throw about 275 feet and not very consistently. Do you think I should force myself to throw backhand in order to become better with that shot and just say screw my game until my backhand is acceptable, or stick with my forearm?
I mean, I think it's always good to learn another shot.
I agree.
100%. If you have the capability to throw both, you are going to be able to score in more situations than not. But I wouldn't. Yeah,
I won a world title without throwing a sidearm.
Correct. But I'm just saying.
Just saying.
Well,
I'm just
obviously
kidding.
I know that that's true.
Obviously, I'm joking. This was 10 years ago.
Yes, but still, even like, I think if you can throw both, that's going to benefit you. Now, I wouldn't stop throwing forehands entirely because that's a strength of your game. Stick with that. But having a 250, 300 foot backhand that you can control, I'd say that'd be great to have.
Yeah.
I don't think it has to become your primary throw, but having it is good.
Yep.
All right, next one comes from Sam.
Hey, Bobby Cool, Daddy Slick Breeze,
I like
The Truth, and Bobbert. I got a question regarding apps.
Truth and
Bobbert.
I use a couple apps when I disc golf. I use UDisc for finding new courses when I'm visiting a different place,
Solid choice.
or to measure my long drive distance. And then I use DG Scorecard for like a quick round with friends. But I was wondering if you had any other suggestions as far as apps go for supplementing your game or improving in disc golf.
UDisc is the one I use the most.
Yeah.
You can do detailed statistics if you want. You can do just raw, simple score if you want. That's the one I use
You
the
can
most.
look up recipes if you want.
That's the one I use all the time. I would definitely recommend the GBO app too, though.
Ah, yes.
I mean,
I haven't looked on that in a while.
You're gonna
What if
learn
it's
so
active?
much.
when it's
You
up
are?
and active. But yeah, that's what I would do. So shout out UDisc. They do great.
Yeah, there was
awesome
one. There was
things.
a putting one that.
That's not for use during a round.
right. Sure.
It's a-
good point.
just as a
Good point.
Yeah.
The
But-
PDGA has an app too, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do scorekeeping, course finding, things like that.
Yeah. For whatever reason, the UDisc one is just so much simpler to
It's
work.
awesome.
Yeah,
And of course,
I love
the
it.
new one for getting yourself ready is the Disc Golf Strong app.
Correct.
Yes.
Get you some get your Disc Golf Strong on. This one's from Westy.
Hey guys, this is Westy again. Don't have a question this week. I actually just finished listening to all of your episodes. I started back in November and kept current since then, but have been listening to every episode prior to November.
That's awesome.
Started at number 1 and just kept listening to them at work. And just wanted to say that your guys' podcast has gotten me through work the last 5 or 6 months, and it's awesome.
Nice.
It's great to have seen everything that's changed from episode 1 to now in such a short time.
Yeah.
And give a shout out to Danny and Anthony. Listening to them take over for you guys while you guys were in Europe was awesome. And having the addition of Robert McCall has been great as well. Just wanted to say you guys are doing a great job and keep it up. Thanks.
Nice.
We need to do a throwback one week when we can't record. We're busy. Just throwback episode 1. Just put it out there.
I've seen some. I've listened to some podcasts that do that.
Yeah.
They'll just. Usually, it's a specific topic though.
Right.
All right.
So, this one was from Ice Penji.
Benji?
Penji.
Penji.
Ice Penji. To go. Oh, sorry.
Hello, Disc Golf Answerman. This is Benjamin Pesonen from Finland. today I have a question for you. Actually, it's a two-part question, but no need to pause in between the questions. So,
Tell me what to do.
are you guys coming to Tuni? And I really hope
Tuni.
that if you are, you, Eric, bring some Lucid X Ice IMAC truths. See you guys here if you come.
So no, we will not be making the trip this year to Disney. So a little disappointed, but or disappointing, but just have some other things going on. So I don't even know if Eric would be able to bring any ice because they're gone, right?
They gone.
They go home. All right, this one is from Anonymous, so I have my hand on the pause button ready just in case.
Hello.
Yeah, we can't have that. I'm just teasing. It's actually my favorite guy. Hold on. Gotta start that from the beginning.
Hello, Bobby. Cool Daddy. Slick Breeze. Eric, the Truth McCabe. And Robert, the Voice McCall.
No.
Robert, I've picked on you a little bit in the past, but let me make amends for that by offering my congratulations on doing a fantastic job during the live coverage of GBO. You and Terry Miller absolutely crushed it, man. And unfortunately, that's how I had to watch it because I was too sick from the chemo to make that trip. Fortunately, I covered well enough to be able to play in my first disc golf tournament the next weekend out here at Big Hill Lake in southeastern Kansas. And I played pretty well in the first round, kind of tanked the second round, lost my favorite disc, a Lucid Getaway, in the spillway coming off the lake, which I've just ordered my replacement. Nice. But my question is, what was the first tournament that you guys played in and how well did you play? And man, I just thank you guys for keeping it real and for what you do to help grow the sport.
Nice, man.
Thank you, Ron. Appreciate that.
Hope that the chemo is doing well and the cancer is subsiding.
So, first tournament we ever played, I don't even remember.
I remember mine like it was yesterday.
Was it yesterday?
It was not yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Mine was 9 million years ago.
Yep, yours was a long time.
However, one of the first like actual events I've got two, I guess I could talk about. My first event I played in was a doubles event that Jim Ramsey and I played in Lawrence. We went up there and played a doubles event. I remember that would have been like 95, maybe. The first tournament I ever went to was the Kansas City Wide Open in like 95, 94, something like that, and went up and watched the pros play the Final Nine, which was really cool back then, getting to see like Crazy John and LaRon and Stokely, a couple other. Climo was always a big name there. Chauncey Donaldson, a couple other big names that people have no idea who they are now, but they were ballers, and it was awesome going up there and watching them play. So yeah, that was my first event that I went to and the first event that I played.
That's awesome. My first event that I went to was also the first one I played, Turner Park Tune-Up, 2010.
I was there.
Yep.
It was
Is
cold.
that the one I videoed?
It was cold. With the really,
it was very cold.
You did the video and then zzz, remember the.
Oh, that's right.
It was so
This is
bad.
the tune-up.
So good though.
Yeah, that was my first one.
That was so clever.
Yep.
At the time, I'd been playing for probably around 2 years. Yeah, like from 2008 or so. So I remember seeing was it Expedition?
Mm-hmm.
I remember seeing your Expedition there with the Cool Daddy Slick Breeze on there. I saw Eric there and Nico was there, and
he won. I thought.
Yep,
he did. And I saw
spoiler alert. But
and I saw a bunch of if people haven't watched yet, and they just don't want to.
There's a DVD out there.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I saw a bunch of people wearing Team DD hoodies, and I was like, I don't even know what that is, but I want to do that someday. I remember thinking that at that tournament. It was before I knew who anybody was or anything. So played that tournament. It was freezing and still very wet and muddy from the day before.
It was cold. I remember.
Yes, I played horribly to my standards at the time. I miscalculated my scorecard the first round.
Whoa.
And I shot a 900 first round. 900 on the number.
You threw 900 strokes?
Nope.
Oh.
But that was what it was rated.
How did you get on the team?
That was what it was rated. My first tournament ever. Second round, I felt like went a lot better, and it was a 915,
Okay.
and I did not cash. But yeah, I remember that like it was yesterday. I did the one the day after too at Town Lake and shot 993, 970 something.
Nice.
So, but the first one, that's still my lowest round ever, 900.
That was the first tournament that I put on DVD.
Yep.
I remember interviewing Nico at the end. and it was getting really dark
and really cold.
Yeah,
He had big time fro at that point too.
Yeah, he
like,
did. He had
it was
big fro.
crazy.
That's so crazy. to
Yeah,
think
man.
back about that. I still can't remember. It had to have been like the Oklahoma Open or something in Oklahoma that I played. Obviously, it was very memorable, and I won.
Yeah,
obviously,
you
won a bunch of cash.
You said Green Country Open 09 was the first one that you did?
That's the first one that I
That
had
you-
any media involvement.
Right.
I didn't
Mhm.
obviously record it as disc golf coverage.
Yeah.
Turner Park was the first one that I covered, and I made legit
Yeah, like produced it.
graphics, scores, and I think did you and Liz? I think did the commentary,
Mhm.
or maybe I can't remember. Yeah, so that was my first legitimate tournament coverage.
We drove
video.
the really old RV down and stayed at
Yes.
the ranch.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, for the Green Country Open.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. They made eco grooves for that tournament. That's
They
the,
did.
that's the only
That's-
reason I remember that
They
stamp.
did. That was
to-
one of the reasons I got paid, or
Yep.
one of the reasons. One of the ways I got paid was some
eco grooves.
Eco Groove. I liked it. I thought it
Did
was
you hold
cool.
on to any of those? They're worth a lot today. They're not. Bobby.
They're not worth anything
nothing.
today.
I had it was a specific one I had that I really liked was a black one with the gold stamp with the totem
Mhm.
pole looking Green
Yep,
Country.
yep, yep.
stamp
It was a
on
cool stamp.
I just remember that eco green when it first came out. Everybody wanted that, and it was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway,
Yeah. All right. Well, we are at the hour mark for the podcast. We're going to go ahead and let the podcast go. We'll hang on here on YouTube and talk to you a little bit over 200 folks. See if we can get some questions answered from our YouTube folks. Oh, no, for the after show. I'm sorry. That's not what it's called. Actually, what it's called is the after show. All right. So how did we do that last time? I think I just paused it and then we kept going.
Yep.
So anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in for the regular podcast. We appreciate you. Appreciate all your patience as we work through some of the audio and the studio stuff. And keep on keeping on. We'll talk to you next time.